If someone works at a restaurant, is it their workplace? Yes, of course it is. But what if they're part of a political party, and what if they visit the party headquarters? Is that their workplace? What if they're sexually harassed at an election campaign? Can they seek redressal? These questions are complex, and this week India's apex court had to answer them. It was hearing a petition which wants POSH to be applied to political parties. POSH is the law against sexual harassment of women at workplace. But the Supreme Court of India rejected this plea. They disposed of it. They directed the petitioner to move the Election Commission of India, which is India's poll body. But why was the plea rejected? And why does it matter? To understand this, let's look at the law. It's called the Prevention of Sexual Harassment of Women at Workplace Act of 2013. In short, the POSH Act. It addresses sexual harassment at any workplace, whether private or public. It states that employers have certain duties, like setting up an ICC or the Internal Complaints Committee. This committee is meant to address complaints about sexual harassment. If there are 10 or more employees in a company, it has to set up an ICC. But do political parties in India have such a committee? India has 6 national political parties. Only one of them has an ICC, and that is the CPM, the Communist Party of India Marxist. The ruling BJP does not have one, neither does the Congress Party, and no one knows or no one is sure about the Aam Aadmi Party. Remember, these are India's policy makers. These parties have many female workers who are left vulnerable to harassment. It's a sad state of affairs. This is what inspired the plea in court to bring POSH to politics. Then why was it rejected? Because of a loophole in the law. Let me quote from what the Supreme Court said. Political parties are under no obligation to comply with the POSH Act as employer-employee relationship does not exist in them. In India, political parties have special privileges. They are not considered legal entities. They are associations of individuals. So technically, political parties are not employers, and their members are not employees. So the guardrails are quite ambiguous, and the court's judgment has only reinforced this ambiguity and left the problem unaddressed. Because there is surely a problem. According to a United Nations survey, 50% women in Indian politics have faced verbal abuse, 45% have faced physical abuse, especially during election campaigns, and 58% said that the perpetrators were party colleagues. Stating the obvious, but women should be safe in all spaces, including in politics. And policies should back this basic right, especially in politics. Sure, political parties may not be employers per se, but the legal definition of employer is quite broad. It includes any person or board responsible for management and supervision. Isn't that what party offices also do? They have more than 10 workers, who abide by duties of local units, who travel for work, who hold meetings. Isn't that what employees also generally do? So why are political parties off the hook? A woman can face harassment while working from home, while traveling for campaigns, or visiting party offices. In all these instances, shouldn't she be able to seek redressal? And if not with the ICC, then elsewhere? Through other guidelines that protect political workers against harassment. And there are examples the world over. The European Union has done it. They have passed a special resolution on violence against women in politics. Bolivia has criminalized it. Kenya has gone a step further. They have set up what they call political parties dispute tribunals. And the British have an Equality Act that includes political parties. So instead of bringing political parties under the definition of a workplace, failing at it, and letting business continue as usual, why don't we create a distinct, defined space with a code of conduct that is mandatory and ensure the safety of women in politics? Why can't we do it? You see, it is easy to stand with the Me Too movement, to condemn rape cases, or to march in a couple of women's protests. It is easy to make rules for others. What is difficult is to lead by example, to change how we treat women, to change our policies, starting with your own political party. As they say, charity begins at home.